Can I prove scientifically that I'm in love with my husband? These are very complex mysteries of human nature, and I don't think universally it'll be ever provable.
I was out picking flowers. I had no concern for the hours. I had no concern for the time I was given. Had yet to realize I wasn't quite living.
I'd say no. If it was, I think we would have heard about it by now. I believe in astrology probably for the same reasons that every religious person believes in their religion. Even though it's not scientifically provable, it has a very personal meaning to everybody that subscribes to it in whatever way they do. And I think, like I said, it's a tool for me that's inherently spiritual. I'm so sorry, he's kind of a Nemo up. If it's not scientifically provable, why do I believe in it? I believe in astrology because it's something that's very personal to everybody, in the same way that people who believe in a particular religion or other spiritual practice believe in it, even though it might not necessarily be scientifically provable, just because a lot of that stuff holds such heavy meaning and is such a subjective experience that can mean a lot to people, and give them a lot of guidance in whatever way they follow through with it. Astrology for me, like personally, is something that's really important because it can give me sort of like semi-concrete things to help tie myself to, which as somebody who, big self-disclosure, has a personality disorder, can be really helpful to have something that I can keep grounding myself to, where otherwise I would have these constant like crises, like I don't actually know like who I am or what I'm like, and it's something that will always resonate with me. And so it's almost like a grounding thing, and I think that's why it's so important to me. I think that can be overdone, but if you keep it in moderation, that's when I think it's most useful.
I think it's kind of a fool's errand to like take the scientific method and try to apply it to astrology. I think maybe in time some aspects of it could be provable. That does not mean that you can't personally like research and do your own case files and look at the researched works of astrologers. Astrology to me is something that is observable from like the human eye, but I'm not sure that we could design an experiment that would work around it. And I just kind of don't see the point in that. So I know this isn't exactly the question, but for me, it's important to share, I think, why it works. And I believe that before you are born, before you incarnate, your soul is kind of in charge of like what you want to learn in this lifetime, what lessons you are to learn, how your soul wants to grow. I think the whole human experience is really a big kind of playground for the soul, and just learning lessons and gaining experience, and then you come back and reincarnate again. And I think there's less judgment on yourself and on your life, I think, with this approach. And this approach has just always made deep sense to me, where my traditional Christian upbringing did not. And so that's where I feel that I'm comfortable being okay with it not being necessarily scientifically provable, and why I use it in my practice. But again, like I said before, and I'm probably repeating myself, it's important to do your own research, and it's important to make it work for you and to study it in your own practice. And, if you're learning something like astrology or numerology, it's important to go out and do it for yourself and find your own results and see how do the results that you are seeing, like with the people that you're observing in your life, how that correlates to like what an astrology book is going to tell you. So that's my answer for that.
Can I prove scientifically that I'm in love with my husband? These are very complex mysteries of human nature, and I don't think universally it'll be ever provable. All we can prove is that it exists in many cultures around the world that never apparently we don't know, but didn't have access to each other. They all study the stars and the movement of the planets, and all of their ancient structures line up to these planetary movements. That's about all we can prove. Does it work scientifically? Probably not ever, but I am okay with that, even having a science background.
Well, you should have known better. You should have known better. Oh, dear Icarus, you should check the weather. Should check the weather. Oh, dear Icarus, well, you should have known better. You should have known better. Oh, dear Icarus, you should check the weather. Should check the weather before you fly.